If you want to watch this video in Hindi, the link is in the description. Khajuraho, one of a kind creation. It has been at the center of visitors' curiosity for decades, a combination of art and out-of-the-box thinking. Khajuraho represents life in itself, but the world knows it for depicting human desires with great artistic mastery. Human sculptures are not rare in Indian temples. They can be seen frequently, but such explicit display of human desires, that too in the house of gods, is very unusual. One can argue that ancient India was liberal in these aspects. But how much liberal is too much liberal? If these sort of expressions were normal in society, we could see such sculptures in every other temple. So in this video, we will investigate the motivation behind the Khajuraho temple art. The first question is, who used to patronize such large-scale projects? Kings? Wealthy families? But why? To please their Kul Devtas, to establish their family names, to make their subjects happy. Whatever the reason might be, such an explicit display of sexual desires doesn't fit any of those narratives. Numerous other grand temples were built to please the deities, but none of them needed such sculptures to get noticed. Also, such artworks could have made common people angry. Then, what was the reason? There is this story that needs to be told. There was a very beautiful woman named Hemvati. One night, the moon god, mesmerized by her beauty, came down on earth. After a few days, Hemvati gave birth to a boy named Chandravarman. But he was never accepted in society as he was born out of wedlock. Anyway, against all the odds, he became a great king one day and established the Chandela dynasty. The rulers of this dynasty built this temple to convey the message that desire is a very normal thing in a person's life. Society should accept it like that way. However, this legend is not historically reliable. Although the Khajuraho temple was built by the Chandela rulers between 950 and 1150 CE, the legend of Hemvati is not reliable. Notice one thing. If you look at the sculptures, you will feel that it's nothing but life. All of the sculptures are telling stories related to everyday life. Let's take war for example. It used to be an inevitable part of life those days, as it was important for safety. But on the other side, war causes violence, which has been given the lowest status in Indian culture. That's why you will see war-related sculptures at the bottom, which shows that being able to protect yourself from enemies is important, but it should be avoided as long as we can. On the foundation of military power, life flows like a river. Khajuraho sculptures can be divided into 5 categories. First, major Hindu gods and their families. Second, other deities. Third, the sculptures of Apsaras and Sursundaris. Fourth, the erotic sculptures or Mithuna sculptures. And fifth, sculptures of animals. Now, Khajuraho is mainly known for its erotic sculptures. Visitors, especially foreign visitors, come here to see them. In fact, foreigners call this temple the Kama Sutra temple. Now the question is, why would a king patronize a temple like this which might offend his subjects? Was the expression of sexual desires such an easy topic in society at any point in past? I can't pick a single reason because multiple factors actively influence an event. Added to that, perspectives also play a role. Now let's see, how did they depict life on the walls? Someone is looking in the mirror. Someone is pulling out a thorn from her foot. Different sorts of expressions can be seen on their faces. Animals can be seen here and there. Now desire is a part of this life, right? So desire came just as a part of life in the artistic endeavors as well. However, only 10% of the sculptures can be placed in the erotic sculpture category. The rest of them show other aspects of life. Now, if anyone is above this worldly life, then that is God, higher consciousness. Therefore, war sculptures at the bottom, flow of life above that, and God on the top. This is how the temples have been structured. One perspective is that these Mithuna sculptures depict the divine union of Shiva and Parvati, or the union between humans and the divine is being shown through metaphors. But I don't think so. If you look at these sculptures carefully, you will feel that they look very mortal and human. Human feelings and emotions are clearly visible on their faces and their body language. The people around them are also very human. Someone is laughing, someone is shocked seeing them, and so on. In one of such panels, you can see an elephant laughing at humans for doing such things in public. If these sculptures were the imagery of divine union, then there should have been some sort of gravitas in their expressions. However, this is my opinion, you may differ. Many people believe that since the erotic sculptures can be seen on the outer walls only, not the inner walls or garbhagriha of the temple, the artists were trying to show that one should leave their desires outside before entering the house of God. This theory kind of makes sense. The worldly life is on one side and the spiritual life on the other. Another theory says that these sculptures basically visually depict the ideas of Kama Sutra. But the problem is, Kama Sutra forbids sexual activities in holy places like a temple. In Hinduism, there is a concept of Purusharth. Purusharth is a combination of four major goals of life: Dharma, meaning righteous life; Artha, meaning wealth; Kama, meaning desires; and Moksha, meaning liberation. All of these four goals are important. You can't directly achieve moksha. Throughout our lives or multiple lives, we go through these four paths, and in the end, we achieve liberation. It is said that the sculptures of this temple depict all of these four paths with an artistic approach. Some scholars believe that these sculptures are related to Tantra. They represent tantric sexual imagery and practices. The oldest temple in the Khajuraho temple complex is the 64 Yogini temple. Yoginis are goddesses of the tantric order. Sexual practices are indeed a crucial part of some tantric paths. But we have a problem here also. Sex doesn't come in the form of desire in Tantra. Actually, the opposite. The practitioner is supposed to experience it with a mind that is free of desires. Now, we are not going to talk about this topic in detail, but the point is, these sculptures are very human. They don't seem free of human emotions. Another noticeable thing about Tantra is its ideologies that deeply value fertility. It values the union of feminine and masculine energies because traditionally it is believed that this union can create something new, not just on a physical level but also on spiritual level. But sculptures of Khajuraho not only show the union of a man and woman, but they depict homosexuality as well, which doesn't fit tantric ideologies properly. Please note that I am not criticizing homosexuality and neither does tantric text as far as I know, but I am not sure how much it means in Tantra. What I believe is it's just a non-judgmental approach towards life. They just showed what they experienced in their lives, no matter what people think about their art. And I find this approach really progressive. That's it for today. If you are new to this channel, then please don't forget to subscribe. I'll come back with a new story very soon. Till then, take care.